Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is another Junk Journal with me video. I've just got this really cute little paper bird that my son made, and that's what's going to be sort of kick-starting today's journaling process. So I went ahead and I laminated that little bird because it was quite fragile and I wanted to make sure it was going to last forever. So I put it through a laminator, and then I'm just going through my journal and trying to decide which page I want to work on. I don't work chronologically, I like to just choose a page based on the patterns that the book has. So I liked this page in the back. There's a little storybook page of a boy that reminds me of my son, and just some really pretty papers that I felt would go well. So I have a bunch of ephemera related to him. And then I also have some of my new foldouts. These foldouts are from the Magic Morning collection, and I'm just giving you a little sneak peek of what they are because I would like to use some of those in here if I can incorporate it into the story. So these are all inspired by sort of self-care items, and I tried to give them a really warm vintage feel to them. So there's some food related stuff, and there's some like beauty sort of related stuff, and there's also a couple of extra labels that come in the pack. So I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of those in case I use them in this process and you're wondering what they are. And then the first thing I'm doing is just taking this little storybook image. This illustration reminds me so much of my son, and I think you'll see the resemblance later when I pull out some photos. I think it looks so much like my son Ren, and so I wanted to use this to go with this page that's all about him. And I really like that in the back of the illustration there's like a little sister, because that kind of ties in really well for him as well. And so I just glued that down onto the page, and then I'm just overlapping the excess over the edge of the page behind it. Then I'm just taking that little paper bird that I laminated and I'm just trimming it down a little bit, and then I'm just going to work out where I'm going to put it in the page. I just wanted to add it as like a fold out piece because it's sort of see-through, and I decided to stick it along the top edge of the page so that it would flip up and down. And to do that I just used some wide washi tape that's nice and sticky. Then I'm just taking this little journaling card. I think this could be from the Sunny Days collection, the cut apart sheet. And it's just a little lined piece that I wanted to glue onto the page to give me a little bit of journaling space. And so I just glued that off the edge of the page there underneath the little bird. And then I'm just looking through the other pages, seeing what fits. I have this little vintage note paper and it has a date on the top, and the date on the top is actually the due date of Ren before he was born. He was born the day after that, but I just thought that that was a nice little way to add some like hidden meaning into the page. And I didn't even pull that out of a book or anything, I just had it loose, and so I felt like it was kind of meant to be on this page. And then I want to attach this drawing that he did inside the little fold out piece or the fold out page in my journal, and so I just have to trim it down ever so slightly so that it will fit inside. So it fit really, really well inside there. I just sort of tucked up the bottom so that it could flip out when you open it, and I stapled it along the top two corners. And then I'm just gluing that little note paper on the extra piece that's left over, the little white space inside the fold out. And again, it fit really well. I didn't even have to trim that piece down. So that's just going to give me a little bit more journaling space inside the fold out. And then I wanted to put a little paper clip up the top to keep that sort of closed, like a little section. Now I have like this really short page that's bound into the book, and I'm just going to glue on this little receipt from a year ago from Ren's birthday party. Just a little memento that I've had loose laying around, and I'm just going to glue that down straight onto the page. And then I just want to decorate it a little bit more, so I'm just flicking through and seeing where things fit. I like this little piece that says Never Grow Up. It's from the Magical Forest collection by Crate Paper, and I'm just going to staple that down onto the back side of that laminated piece. Then I have a little scrap, like a torn scrap of like a botanical print paper, and I'm just trimming that down so it will fit on the short page again. I'm just going to glue that along the edge just to add a little bit more decoration to the page, just sort of frames it and adds a bit more interest and texture. And then I liked the way the perfume label looked from the Magic Morning foldouts from my Etsy shop. I liked the way it looked on top of the little floral fold out piece, but I felt like it was a little bit too bulky to sit on top, and I didn't really have anything else that I wanted to put inside it. It didn't really go too well with the journaling, but I just liked the way that it complemented that floral, and so I cut out the label piece and cut off the tabs just to use it as like a decorative piece. I had some test prints that I just printed on really thin copy paper, and so it wasn't too bulky to glue there, and I liked the little bit of extra interest and decoration it added to the page. And then I have this little scrap of paper that I thought looked really nice along the bottom edge of that illustration on the right. I'm using my glue stick for pretty much everything. Added a little strip of washi tape down the middle where the pages sort of come together, and that just helps to prevent things from lifting up when you're turning the pages. And then I have this little wallet. It has photos that are older, because whenever I do journaling I end up with a lot of photos. I print like more than I need, so I have a lot of photos that are left out, and I just put them into this little folder to then put into a photo box to store. But I have this in my craft room, and I just wanted to pull out some photos from here because sometimes it's nice to journal with older photos as well. And I'm just pulling out a couple of photos of my son, and as you can see, I think he really resembles the illustration that I glued onto the page. And so I just picked out a couple of my favorites, and I'm just picking a few of them to add and include into this spread. So I really liked the picture of him looking at his little piece of cake, and then there's another picture of him outside in the grass, which I thought looked really cute inside the cabinet card printable. This is also from my Etsy shop, and I liked the way that that black cabinet card sort of contrasted with that floral paper. So it's just a little photo pocket. You can slip photos in and out, and I thought that that little picture looked really cute inside there. And then there's this little really short page, like a storybook page that's bound into the book, and all I did was just add some double-sided tape along the top and the bottom just to create like a little slip pocket onto the page, and that's where I'm going to put the picture of my son and his cake and just slip it in and out of that little pocket. And then I just switched out the little tiny paper clip for a bigger one so that it would hold both the cabinet card on there, and it would also hold the whole fold out together so that it wouldn't sort of lift open. And then I'm just trying to decide what else I want to add to that last back page. I liked this little heart tag piece, and I decided to pull out my crocodile and just punch out the little tag hole. And then I also punched a hole in the page itself, and that just allowed me to thread some string through both pieces and then tie it off so it just sort of hangs there, which again I think just makes it look more interesting. It's sort of more interactive and adds some different textures. And after I thread the tag through, I just tied it off in a little knot. So the knot sort of overhangs the page, so it's not really bulky in the journal, but it's also going to prevent it from coming loose and falling out. just fiddling around seeing if there's anything else that I want to add. I am going to pull out a bunch of stickers and just have a play with those. I think it just helps to tie everything together. I'm using these chalkboard label stickers. I'm just playing around with where I think it will look nice. I liked the way it looked on this first page, and I almost stuck one down there up the top, but then I last minute changed my mind because I really didn't want to cover up those birds that were peeking through. And because I'd already peeled the back off the label sticker, I had to find somewhere else to put it, and so I decided to put it on the last page that I journaled on instead. And for some reason it didn't really want to stick very well to this page, so I ended up having to add some PVA glue to the back of that to make sure it's stuck properly. But I'm going through the rest of my sticker sheets and choosing a different label to put at the top of the page where I was originally going to put the black label, and I liked this one because it's see-through, so you can see through to the bird and you can see through to the pages underneath. And I'm just going to label a little tiny word sticker on top of that. I also put one of those cute little silhouette stickers just below that, and I think both of those stickers are from the Heritage collection by Maggie Holmes. So whenever I'm journaling, I like to just hold my pieces up to the page and just like move them around, slide them around the page and see if there's anywhere that I like. So before I commit to anything, I'm just sort of seeing what appeals to me before I stick it down, and I think that that just makes it really fun because it just is a way to sort of explore all your options. And then the little cabinet card, I just realized I'd printed it onto the back of like a test print of a different printable from my shop because I hate to waste paper, and I wanted to cover it up, and I just ended up putting that cute little rocket ephemera piece on the back of that. So I stapled it along the bottom. I made sure to take the photo out first, and then I just trimmed it down and I just added a little bit of glue up the top. And I added a tiny little gold heart sticker onto the front of that cabinet card. And then here you can see me adding some glue onto that label sticker that didn't want to stick properly, but I like how it looks there on the back page as well. And then I think I added one more sticker on top of that little tag piece, and I picked one that said "I heart you," which I thought was really cute to stick on top of the heart tag. And I really liked again how the black sort of contrasted and it tied in with the other black pieces throughout the spread. Added an extra little staple onto that Never Grow Up piece. And then I did all of my journaling off camera, and you can see all the finished details here as I flick through. So I like to leave myself little places where I can fill in with my journaling, and yeah, I really like how it turns out in the end. So that was today's Junk Journal with me video. I'm really enjoying doing these every week. I'm trying to get at least one Junk Journal with me out per week. So if you enjoy them, make sure you check out the playlist. I'll try and remember to link it down below. There's a playlist with a heap of videos of me journaling. So yeah, I really like filming them. They're one of my favorite videos to create. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.